Hello learners, welcome to today's session on climate change and society. In the previous session, we have seen that how climate change affects the weather conditions, the changes in the rainfalls which are occurring, and how does it affect the agricultural practices in a given region. Today, we will explore what are the intriguing relationships between climate change and society. Because whatever the weather changes which are taking place, they do have an influence on the socio-economic perspectives. The way we live, the type of livelihood we are indulged in, our own well-being, so many factors are there which are influenced by the climate change. By the rise in temperature which has taken place over last few decades, by the changes in the rainfalls which are continuously occurring, by the extreme weather events that we are witnessing, and by the increased frequency and intensity of natural disasters, there has been a shift. There has been a shift in the way the society functions, how people are living, and it has affected mostly all sections of the people, whether rural or urban. So learners, let us see and explore what is the relationship between climate change and society. Because sustainable development, as you know, it includes so many things with it. And climate change potentially affects a much wider range of sustainable development issues, such as it affects the health of individuals, it lays emphasis and stress on food security, on the income, employment and livelihoods of the people who are dependent on agriculture and the elite sectors. It has an influence on the gender equality, education, housing, poverty, movement of the people. There are so many issues which are affected by the climate change. Some are affected directly, while on the other hand, there are indirect influences of climate change on variety of other factors. So, in a nutshell, we can say that the way we are progressing, the way our cities are built in, the way people are moving from rural areas to urban areas, there is a lot of stress on the infrastructure, transportation systems, energy consumption, food supplies, water supplies. These are all affected by the climate change. And we must not think that climate change is something which is far away or which is future, but it is real. It has started showing its impacts that we have already explored in our previous sessions. So when it affects our surroundings and the environment, it does have an influence on our own living and on own survival, the livelihoods of the people. Most importantly, it has a vulnerability which needs to be understood very well. Learners, you must understand that whenever any natural disaster takes place or whenever we see the extremes of climate change, not all are equally affected. We say that there are some people, some populations, some communities or some areas which are more vulnerable to climate change. This is the most common term we always use, that who are more vulnerable and which are the most vulnerable places on the earth which will have an influence because of climate change. So vulnerability means so many things. First of all, we have to see who is vulnerable. Means that which communities, whether rich or poor, whether living in the mountainous regions or living in the coastal regions, whether living and dependent on the forest communities, whether there is a gender demarcation of vulnerability. So first of all, who is vulnerable needs to be understood very precisely, that because of climate change and the related factors which are taking place, which communities, which group of population is most affected, which is most vulnerable, for which we have to take some precautionary measures so as to protect them. Another important issue is vulnerable to what? What is the stimulus? What is the stress behind it? Means whether the group of the people are vulnerable to extreme floods, or there are drought like conditions, or there are occurrence of diseases in that area, or there is a changes in the rainfall precipitation patterns. So what is the stress, what is the stimulus that they have to face, that the communities which are facing the stress of the climate change, what is the main triggering factor, how are they affected, is there a change in the shift of rainfall, or there is a change in the Arctic regions or in the mountainous regions. We can say that there is a decreased snow cover, because of which there is a impact being seen. So that is constituting that these communities are vulnerable to what. And another important characteristics that we must know is that why they are vulnerable. Is it because of the place of location? Is it because of the particular characteristic of that entity, or it is because of their livelihood? That, for example, there are fishermen who are dependent on the coastal areas for their livelihood. So because of that factor, because their livelihood and income sources are coming from the areas which are under stress because of climate change. So we also have to pick up that what is the characteristic of the entity, why they are vulnerable, because of their dependence. For example, if we are saying that agriculture is affected by climate change and the soils have become infertile and proper growth of the crops is not taking place, so a community, particularly the farming community, is affected. So that shows that what are the characteristics of the entity. So when we know all these things, that we are able to judge that which communities are vulnerable, what are the stressing points behind it, and what are the main characteristics that why they are vulnerable, we will be able to address the problem. Then there are biophysical and socio-economic vulnerability, which is also a distinguishing feature when we talk about the climate change and the societal conditions. That biophysical vulnerability refers to their place of living, the geographical location, the occurrence of the disasters, or the presence of the rivers in that area. That constitutes the biophysical vulnerability, that because of climate change there may be increased incidence of floods taking place, and because of that the landslides may be occurring, and because of that a particular group of the population are affected, are more vulnerable. That is the biophysical vulnerability. That is because of the place of living, the place where they are at present residing, that is their geographical location. Another important vulnerability is socio-economic vulnerability, because of their social status. Because in a more clear way we can say that whenever there is a climate change related impact taking place, it is the poor who are the most affected. The poor constitute or contribute very less to what is happening because of climate change, but they are the ones who are the most affected. So this is the socio-economic vulnerability, because they cannot afford to move somewhere else, because they do not have proper adaptive capacity, because they do not have the resources by virtue of which they are able to fight against the climate stresses. So that is the socio-economic vulnerability. It runs across the classes, the marginalized communities, the lower sections of the people in a community. So vulnerability, we can say, it is a function of sensitivity, that is which community is more sensitive, then adaptive capacity, whether they are able to adapt or devise some mechanism to protect themselves against the vagaries of the climate change, and the degree of exposure. What is the level of exposure, how much they are exposed to that stress or that stimulus, that constitutes the vulnerability. Now another important thing that we must also know, that whether it is the disasters taking place or water shortages happening, it is mostly the poor, as we have said, or the farming community which have usually suffered the most in these times, because they have a difficulty to cope up with the changes and they have limited financial resources, because they cannot relocate or evacuate the place, they are not in a position to respond to increase in the cost of the food items which generally happens. Then another section of the people, what we were talking is that the elderly are most affected because they are most exposed, they cannot move from their place. Women are most affected because they are the last ones to receive any kind of respite or any rescue measure. They have to do a lot of hard work because of the climate change taking place. Then the disabled, they are also most vulnerable. So these are the socio-economic examples of the people who are vulnerable to the changes which are taking place in the climate. There are immigrant communities, there are climate refugees. These type of communities, they are always there. Then another important thing what we were talking about is the profession of the people. What kind of work people do, what are the type of the industries, what kind of challenges they are facing because of climate change, because there are certain professions which are closely linked with weather and climate. For example, there are outdoor tourism taking place, commerce and agriculture related activities, recreation activities. So many type of activities are affected or which are likely to be specially affected because of the climate change. So as we were now talking about the geographical location, so where people live, it directly influences their vulnerability to climate change because it specially affects the people who live in that areas. For example, there are coastal storms, drought taking place, sea level rise occurring because of climate change. And so in the past 4 decades we have seen that in the coastal regions the population has increased rapidly, because the reason may be the opportunities for livelihood or the cost of living may be low at that places. So the poor people naturally they tend to settle at those places which are comparatively cheaper and where livelihood opportunities are available. But when there are coastal storms occurring or very kind of a hurricanes occurring that we have seen in our previous sessions, so they become more sensitive. And similarly, because of climate change, there is a drought-like conditions, there are heat waves, cold waves, and even in the mountainous areas, we find that water scarcity is rapidly occurring, and therefore the people are likely to face water shortages, also wildfires that are most likely to occur in the near future. So this clearly shows that the place where the communities are living, that is the geographical location of the population, it also has a remarkable influence on the climate change related issues which are taking place, because in the mountainous regions there may be changes in the snowfall, there may be changes or there may be scarcity of the water at those places because it is at high altitude, or near the coastal regions there may be because of the increase in the water temperature of the seas and the oceans, there is a sea level rise, and there may be there has been seen that there is a decrease in the area of the islands which are also taking place. So that also influences that geographical location. So we were now talking about the age group, that is also very important because elderly, they are least able to cope up with the impact of climate change, they are particularly prone to heat stress taking place. Then young people, that is the young children, that constitutes another sensitive group because their immune system is very low, their body systems are still developing, and because of the changes taking place, because of the so many types of allergens and because of so many types of changes in the weather conditions taking place, they are the ones who usually are not able to cope up and therefore suffer the most. Indigenous population, as we know that climate change can affect the health and well-being of indigenous tribes, those who reside in the forest areas, those who reside in the pristine environment, because climate change makes it difficult and harder for the tribes. They are not able to access food, particularly the nutritious cereals and all. Traditional foods are just going away because of the changes in the cultivation practices. They do not have access to safe drinking water, and therefore climate change is expected to increase, you can say, a kind of health risk associated with water quality problems also, and this indigenous populations definitely are more prone to the climate change related impact. Similarly, marginalized communities, because the disadvantaged, the marginalized people, they are particularly vulnerable to exclusion, violence and exploitation because of the social stigma, discrimination and hatred. And because of the impact of climate change, they have to move from one place to another, maybe because of so many factors, and already they face hardships, they face difficulty in the urban areas, and because of which the marginalized communities are vulnerable to climate change related impacts. Then most interestingly, there is a gendered impact of climate change, which is an important point of study. Learners, there is a gender differentiated impact of climate change, because as you know, agriculture is most of the times now carried out by women. There is a feminization of agriculture because males usually migrate to urban areas in search of livelihood. So the whole responsibility of agricultural operations and along with taking care of the family rests on the shoulder of these women. So they bear the brunt of the climate change related, if the droughts are occurring, if they have to walk long distances to get water for their families. So it is the women who are most affected. They have the caregiving role to the elderly also, to the children also, and as we have discussed just now, that elderly and children constitute that group which are more vulnerable. So there are more chances of getting their sick, and therefore the burden increases on the women. There is an increased workload because they have to gather food, they have to gather fuel wood, and everything becomes a tough task because already the whole ecosystems of forest or grasslands, you can say, they are under stress because of the climate change happening around. Even during the natural disasters, women are the ones which are most affected, whether it is the floods or hurricanes or earthquakes taking place, because there are extreme living conditions happening during these disasters. There are more incidences of harassment, violence, crime against women in these circumstances. So this constitutes a very important and interesting field of study where we can elaborate on how climate change affects the women, and there are gendered impacts of climate change. How we can see that the impact of climate change varies on men and women separately. So social impacts, we have, as we are just discussing here, that social impacts vary from economic to health and livelihood options of the people. As far as economic costs are concerned, climate change is one of the biggest threats to economic stability because it adds economic cost because of changing climatic conditions. For example, whenever there are incidences of heat waves or decreased snowfall taking place, the changes in the habitat of the wildlife, now this affects the outdoor activities, the sporting activities like hunting, fishing, camping, tourism. So these are, there is a decrease in the economic value which is associated with these activities, and because of change in the climate taking place, there is a shift of the movement of the animals also, and there are less avenues available for tourism in those places which were once considered to be an exclusive and important field of study for these subjects, particularly like wildlife and all. Similarly, whenever there are more intense storms taking place, wildfires, floods which we have seen, it damages the already built infrastructure. So the roads are damaged, the railway lines are damaged, even power grids, water supply systems, and there is a huge cost which is incurred on repairing them and getting them back to shape. Also, in terms of heat waves, it has seen that it lowers the productivity of the individual, it reduces their ability to work, it makes them sick. So that also indirectly affects the economics of any, you can say, of any place of work. Then there is a frequency, intensity of disasters taking place. So it damages the factories, the raw material is not available, water becomes expensive because the drought like conditions, if they are prevailing for long, so it makes things difficult to procure the raw material for the factories. So in turn, the cost of the value of the products increases, and it is considered to be the economic cost which is associated with the climate change. So at one hand, we are fighting with the vagaries of the weather and drought like conditions, and on the other hand, already the resources which are there, they are scarce, they are costly, and ultimately it increases the cost or the value of the products which are being manufactured. And then you can see how it is related to the poverty also. So poor people which are already fighting with these changes taking place are no more in a position to afford all these products which are available. So this is a vicious cycle which goes on. Another important thing what we have been seeing is the health related impacts. The climate change affects the health of the individuals because it affects directly and indirectly. For example, direct effect is that what we can see, that sudden climate related emergencies taking place. For example, there is a extreme heat or floods occurring for 2 days, 3 days, and it causes the diseases to the people because it causes a kind of a casualties to the people. They are suffering. Similarly, in case of tropical storms or changing patterns, these are the direct effects. Now another one, they are the chronic effects. For example, water shortages occurring for a long period of time, or good food, good crops are not available, so malnutrition like conditions are taking place. Because of the factors which we have discussed just now, there may be psychological stress among the people. When the people have to move from their place, they are getting displaced, they are migrating. It also leads to conflicts among the people. So according to WHO, it has estimated that ultimately the greatest health impact will be because of the gradual increase of the pressure on the natural, economic and social systems which sustain the health of the individuals. So we have seen that how waterborne diseases, foodborne diseases are on the rise. There are more aeroallergens, pollens, because the warmer temperatures which are occurring at certain places, they are the most important breeding grounds for the growth of these vectors. And therefore, we find that extreme weather and climate related all these issues lead to increase or proliferation of the insects that spread diseases like dengue is occurring, or you can say cholera is occurring. For example, the waterborne diseases, they are also common. So malaria particularly occurs at those places because the breeding ground of mosquitoes favors such kind of temperature, humidity and other factors. So, and another kind of health impact what we can see is that when populations are displaced from one place to another, there may be the change of their livelihoods, and therefore there may be a kind of a psychological stress to these people because when they are not able to adjust. So, a kind of a mental health issues also arise because of climate change, which we have seen. So, we can say that when you compare climate change with health of the individuals, there may be temperature related illness, for example, high temperatures and low temperatures causing an effect on elderly, children and such like that. Then extreme weather events because of the floods or these things. Then air pollution increases, so it increases the incidence of pollen grains, aeroallergens, breathing problems, respiratory diseases. They are occurring more because of climate change these days. Then just now we were discussing waterborne and foodborne diseases. Then there are water shortages occurring, food shortages occurring, and because of that the vulnerable communities are facing nutritional deficiency. They are suffering from malnutrition, stunted body growth. They are not able to get enough nutrients which they should get. So these are some of the effects of on health, particularly which are occurring because of climate change taking place. Then another social dimension is energy use and supply, because climate change is likely to affect the amount of energy that is required to heat the buildings in winter particularly, and the amount of energy which is required to cool the buildings. So as average temperatures are rising at certain places, there are some areas which will be requiring more energy to cool the buildings, but maybe less energy to use them. So there will be increased demand for air conditioning systems, and it stresses the capacity of our power plants, transmission grids and also the distribution systems. So and these power plants also consume large amount of water. So there may be scarcity of water supplies, particularly operational difficulties happening. So energy use and supply is also affected by the climate change, because we are heavily dependent upon the energy to meet our daily needs. So in case of rising temperatures, in case of lowering of the temperatures, we need energy to do our routine work. We need energy in industries, in agriculture, and for domestic purposes also. So climate change is definitely likely to affect the energy use and supply by various sectors. Then there is a social disruption and instability, because developing countries tend to have fewer resources, and when already the fewer resources are there and extreme weather events taking place, there are food shortages, water shortages, it leads to, you can say, competition, fight for the resources, and it ultimately causes social disruption, instability, also conflicts in such circumstances. So there may be you can say a kind of a social stress because of the climate change, because now the resources are scanty, they are not available to all, and therefore increase in the exposure to climate hazards also increases the susceptibility and also decreases the ability to cope up with these hazards in the absence of the natural resources, in the absence of the you can say equal distribution of the resources. So there are certain group of populations which are at the receiving end, which are not able to get the resources as they should be, and it creates a kind of a social tension in the community. Then food systems, as we have known that because agriculture is most importantly affected sector by climate change, and availability of agricultural products is also affected by climate change, because crop yields, crop pests, disease, soil fertility, we have discussed all these issues in our previous lecture when we were talking about climate change in agriculture. So agriculture is affected, so that means food availability, accessibility, use of the food, and all these affordability of the food, that is also put at stake, and it is a commodity which is required by one and all. So therefore it creates a kind of a social divide in the society, where equally we are not able to distribute the food systems. Particularly in the urban areas, we find that infrastructure is heavily affected by climate change, because drainage and sewer systems and flood and storm protection assets which are there, transportation, communication systems, you know, these are all affected by the heat waves which are taking place during summers because of climate change. Climate change also puts a stress because of the increase in the investment required for infrastructure, because there are water shortages, and therefore you need more of infrastructure to support in times of you can say stress, because we have to look into the needs of the people, and because we know that particular areas are more vulnerable to floods and storms taking place every year. So there has to be a suitable built-in infrastructure to fight against these changes in the weather which are taking place because of climate change. Migration is an important aspect of climate change, because there are different pathways, because people move from one place to another, because climate makes them to move, because the place which was once suitable for agriculture may not be suitable now. So in a nutshell, we can say that climate change has a huge influence on the society. It affects our living, our lifestyles, the way we are moving, migration patterns, our you can say our health, that is also impacted by climate change, and economics is affected by climate change. So in a nutshell, we can say that climate change has got a huge impact on the way the society functions and the way the people are living. So socio-economic considerations of climate change need to be explored in a more holistic manner. Thank you.